Art and Dharma Class 8, DAMARU. Dear beautiful and radiant viewers, welcome to the 8th episode of Art and Dharma, where we will talk about the connections or interplay between art and Dharma. My name is Victor Gabriel and I am a lecturer at Sakya Buddha University in Santa Ana, California. You can reach me through my email awake.star.sky@gmail.com. In this 8th episode, I would like to discuss Buddha sound, which is represented by the DAMARU here. We will explore Buddha sound, its iconography, its role in Buddhist cosmology, its devotional practices, and significance. A DAMARU is a small two-headed drum used in Hinduism and Tibetan Buddhism. In Hinduism, the DAMARU is considered the instrument of the deity Lord Shiva. It is said to be created by Lord Shiva to produce spiritual sounds by which the whole universe was created and is maintained. In Tibetan Buddhism, the DAMARU is seen as an instrument that represents Buddha sound. The DAMARU is typically made of wood with leather DAMARU heads at both ends. The resonator is made of brass. The height of the DAMARU is 6 inches and the weight varies to 250 to 330 grams. The height ranges from a few inches to little over 1 foot. It is played single-handedly. The strikers are typically beads fastened to the ends of leather cords around the waist of the DAMARU. Knots in the leather can also be used as strikers. The corseted material is also common. The player waves the DAMARU using a twisting wrist motion. The strikers beat on the drumhead. Even today, the DAMARU is commonly seen throughout the Indian subcontinent. The DAMARU is known as a power drum, and when played, it is believed to generate spiritual energy. It is associated with the Hindu deity Lord Shiva and is believed that the Sanskrit language was recognized by the drum beats of the DAMARU, and the sounding of the DAMARU is the Lord Shiva's performance of the cosmic dance of the Tandava. In Tibetan Buddhist tradition, the DAMARU is part of the collection of sacred implements and musical instruments that was possibly adopted from India. These reached the Himalayas from the 8th to the 12th century. Besides wood, the DAMARU may be made from skulls. These DAMARUs are made from a male and female skull bone of calvarium, cut well above the area of the ear and joined at their apex. Inside, the male mantras of Hayagriva are inscribed on the male skull, and the female mantras of the Vajrayogini are inscribed on the female skull. These mantras are appropriately inscribed in saffron or gold. The heads of the DAMARU are covered with animal skins. These skins are traditionally cured by burying them with copper, mineral salts, and special herbal formulas for about 2 weeks. Then these skins are stretched and glued on the two heads, then painted blue-green. A collar of simple brocade, copper or silver or gold is made around the connecting point of the two skulls. The collar is where a handhold is attached and is also the site of the attachment of the beaters. The symbolism and energetic properties of the drum are extensive. The DAMARU is used in a wide range of Vajrayana rituals. It is the standard right hand accompaniment to the bell held in the left hand. They are usually used together to accent or punctuate various Dharma practices. It can be used by the solo practitioner, while in larger Dharma assemblies, only the presiding Rinpoches and chant masters use them. They are used in concert with other Dharma instruments. The sound of the DAMARU represents Buddha sound. It can sound like the patter of raindrops during a rainstorm, and this is used to represent the descent of blessings from the Buddha, like so. In Buddhism, the concept of Buddha sound typically refers to the teachings of the Buddha, especially the spoken words or discourses attributed to him. This aspect of Buddha sound encompasses 3 layers of meaning and significance. In the foundational level, Buddha sound refers to the actual speech of the Buddha or his spoken words that are now recorded as the suttas. These teachings of the Buddhas are often referred to as the Dharma. This includes the principles, doctrines, and instructions conveyed by the Buddha during his lifetime to help beings attain liberation, nirvana, from suffering a state to achieve a state of permanent happiness. At the middle level, Buddha sound refers to the oral transmission of Dharma and its transformative impact. Initially, the Buddha's teachings were passed down orally by his disciples and later compiled into scriptures. The preservation and propagation of these teachings constitute the Buddha sound, symbolizing the continuity and authenticity of the Dharma. The Buddha's spoken words are believed to have profound and transformative power. They can inspire insight, wisdom, and compassion in listeners, guiding them on a path towards spiritual awakening and liberation. At the deepest or highest level, Buddha sound can also refer to the subtle internal experience of awakening and enlightenment, where practitioners may perceive or hear a profound inner sound, representing the ultimate truth and reality. It is believed that the Dharma is eternal and not just the teaching of a particular Buddha, but the teachings of all Buddhas, past, present, and future. The Dharma as an expression of compassion, benevolence, eternally and continually communicates itself to all beings, showing the way from suffering to a state of permanent happiness. The Buddha sound represents the resonance of truth and wisdom and compassion that reverberates throughout the universe, transcending linguistic and cultural boundaries. Because this is the Buddha sound, it is also the sound of no sound, the sound of silence. These 3 levels are difficult to communicate to us ordinary beings. And so the Buddhist tradition conveys these 3 levels through symbolic representations. A common representation of Buddha sound are the Dharma instruments, one of which is the DAMARU. In a symbolic sense, Buddha sound is found in various verses, gathas, chants, and mantras throughout various denominations of Buddhism. In different Buddhist traditions such as the Theravada, Zen, Pure Land, and Tibetan Buddhism, specific chants and mantras are believed to embody the essence of the Buddha's teachings and qualities. Reciting these sounds is considered beneficial for purifying the mind and creating positive karma. These practices allow the practitioner to connect or resonate with Buddha sound found in its different levels simultaneously. Let us now turn to how Buddha sound is taught in the Pali and Mahayana scriptures. These teachings attributed to the Buddha in the Pali canon emphasize the spoken words and the significance of sound in conveying the Dharma. Here are some key aspects related to the concept of Buddha sound found in the Pali canon. In Theravada Buddhism, the teachings of the Buddha are revered as the Buddha's own words. These teachings are considered authoritative and are transmitted through the oral tradition of recitation and memorization by monastics. The Pali Canon is organized into three main sections, with the Sutta Pitaka or basket containing the discourses or suttas attributed to the Buddha. These discourses cover various aspects of the Dharma, including ethics, meditation, wisdom, and the path to liberation. Throughout the suttas, the Buddha often emphasizes the importance of clear and skillful communication. He instructs his disciple on how to convey the teachings effectively so that they can be understood and practiced by others. The Buddha's teachings were primarily transmitted orally during his lifetime and were later compiled into the written form. This oral tradition underscores the significance of sound in the transmission and preservation of the Dharma. In several suttas, the Buddha explains the transformative power of listening to the Dharma attentively. He compares the impact of hearing the teachings to the unfolding of wisdom and insight gradually in the mind of the listener. While the specific term Buddha sound may not explicitly be found in the Pali Canon, the teachings within it emphasize the spoken words of the Buddha as the primary vehicle through which the Dharma is transmitted. This emphasizes and underscores the profound significance of sound and speech in conveying the teachings of enlightenment and liberation in the Theravada Buddhism. In Mahayana Buddhism, particularly in Mahayana sutras and texts, the concept of Buddha sound is elaborated upon and emphasized as a profound teaching principle. Here are some key Mahayana texts and sources where the concept of Buddha sound is found. These are significant examples in the Lotus Sutra. In Chapter 3, the parable of the burning house, the Buddha uses skillful means to teach the Dharma to his followers. He employs various expedient devices, including enticing them with the promises of toys and other rewards, to guide them to the understanding the deeper truths of the Dharma. The Buddha's teaching is depicted as skillful, adaptable, and resonating with the capacities and conditions of diverse beings. In Chapter 16, the lifespan of the Tathagata, the Buddha's ultimate and transcendent nature beyond birth and death is described. This chapter emphasizes the eternal presence of the Buddha's teachings that continually benefit sentient beings even after the Buddha's physical passing. There are significant passages in the Avantasaka Sutta, the Flower Garland Sutra. In Chapter 1, the 10 stages, The qualities of a Buddha, including the ability to radiate a radiant light and a profound sound, which encompass all dharmas, is described. This Buddha sound is understood metaphorically as the teachings that resonate universally and liberate sentient beings. In chapter 39, the entry into the Dharma realm, the interconnectedness of all phenomena within the Dharma realm and the inconceivable qualities of a Buddha's teachings, which are vast and profound like an ocean of sound, is described. In the Paranibbana Sutra, chapter 5, the Tathagata, the luminous nature of the Buddha's teaching, as an expression of the ultimate truth, is explained. It emphasizes the innate potential of Buddha nature within all sentient beings to realize enlightenment through the teachings. In the Vimlakriti Sutra, chapter 2, expedient means miraculous displays and the teaching of the Buddha include the resonant and penetrating nature of his voice, which awakens beings to the reality of emptiness and compassion. In the Amitabha Sutra, chapter 18, visualization of the Buddha of infinite life describes the teachings of Amitabha Buddha and the Pure Land, where beings hear the Buddha's sound of liberation and are guided towards enlightenment. In these Mahayana texts, Buddha sound is often depicted as a metaphorical expression of the profound and transformative teachings of the Buddha. It encompasses not only the literal spoken words of the Buddha, but also the expansive and timeless nature of his wisdom and compassion and skillful means in guiding sentient beings towards awakening and liberation. These images echo the poem by Su Tongpo, a Chinese poet. The sound of the valley streams are the Buddha's long, broad tongue. The form of the mountains are his pure body. At night, I hear the myriad sutra verses uttered. How can I relate to others what they say? Today, we have talked about Buddha sound, its iconography, its role in Buddhist cosmology, its devotional practices and significance. If you like this episode, please write to me at wake.star.sky@gmail.com. Tell me what you like, what you enjoyed, and what you would like to see more of. You can also submit artwork that you want me to comment about. Thank you.